Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Another beautiful day in southern Louisiana.
It is. So, Corey and I have been talking a little bit back and forth, and we both had listened to this video recently about loving ourselves, coming to love ourselves, and it made me look into the scriptures, because I love the scriptures, and so I just tend to go to the scriptures a lot of times. But there's a scripture that we hear so much at church and in religions and just in the world, and talking about loving God. Like, what is the first great commandment? It is to love God with all of our heart, might, mind, and strength. Well, it says, all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And then the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And I hear so many times people will talk about the second one, and they'll say, love God and love your neighbor. And they'll leave out the part that really is truly so important, and it's to love our neighbor as ourselves. And I feel like I'm coming to learn for myself that we can't love our neighbor the way that we have been commanded to love our neighbor unless we love ourselves. That's why Jesus Christ, he told us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And so when we leave that part off, it's like we're not fulfilled. We're not being obedient to that full commandment to love ourselves. That's just kind of been on my mind a little bit lately. How that part is just left off. You got a thought?
Yeah, it is so easy to leave that out and to not love ourselves. It's so easy for me to get so down on myself when I mess up, and in anything in my life. Whenever I do something that is just not in alignment with my values and my beliefs, it's so easy to just get down on myself and to not love myself and forgive myself. And it's like, what's the purpose of life? It's to learn, it's to progress. It's not to be perfect, it's about progress. And as long as we're progressing, then it's good. But it is so easy to, here I go again, I messed up, I suck, I'm no good. And it's so easy to get into that cycle, and then before you know it, you're right back where you began, and you've forgotten all that you've learned and all the progress that you've made, and you're stuck in this negative place that took so long and so much work to get out of. And then all of a sudden, there you are again, just in a funk. But I love myself today. Even if I don't work a perfect program, nobody is perfect. There's only been one perfect man to walk this earth. And, for me to look at myself and say, I suck because I messed up today, that is the adversary. That is my head trying to get me to be self-destructive and to go down a path that I don't want to be down. Go down a path that I know where it leads. I know where that misery leads. So I love myself. And it is impossible to love anybody else. And I've been thinking about this a lot, because I listened to that one yesterday and shared it with you. And it is just so true. It is not possible for me. I've never really loved anybody. And I've mentioned this before. I've never been able to love anybody because I've never loved myself. I've never been at peace with myself and who I am. But now that I do love myself, like my relationships with everybody I come into contact with, it's like I do have empathy and I care for people and like I feel for people. You know, I was talking about a person that I was with today that is just really depressed and really down, and like 6 months ago this person was so on top of the world, and today all it was blame and like a ton of codependency and a lot of just stuff that we've been working really hard on overcoming. And if I'm stuck in that blame game, it's so miserable.
Mm-hmm. I'm learning to, like, with coming to love ourselves, like as we come to love ourselves, whenever we do mess up, whenever we do things that, you know, we would normally beat ourselves up over, it's so much easier to have compassion. And it's like just loving ourselves and recognizing that we are doing great. Like, we fall and we get back up, you know, we don't fall and stay down. Like, it's a continuous thing, and it's like, it's just having compassion and love, just loving ourselves for where we are and for who we are. That's another thing that I've been thinking about, is just with that love, is just that authenticity, you know, just loving who I am and all of who I am, you know, and just being who I am. And if other people don't like that, then that's okay. You know, that doesn't have to keep me from being okay with myself and loving myself. And you said something about, like, whenever we do mess up, like this getting down. I've been physically not well for a couple weeks, and so it has affected me a little bit in all ways, you know, with my body and my mind and my spirit. And I had a couple days where I was getting back into this, like, these thoughts of feeling like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just not good enough to be, like, sharing stuff. And I'm, like, just kind of, like, a lot of self-defeating talk in my mind, and I was just getting really down on myself and low in my mind. And the thought came to me, think celestial. And I was just like, that helped me. I mean, that pulled me out of what my mind was going to. And I am recognizing that, you know, I have so many recordings in my mind and so many ways of just thinking and behaving that, you know, for the most part, when I'm feeling really well and doing well and everything, I'm up on top of the world. I mean, it's just, we're just in this blissful state. And as, like, my body has been really sick and just unwell, and I've been tired, and just my energy has been so much lower, I just recognize so many of these patterns and these thoughts have been trying to get their way in and get me. I mean, it's like when stuff is, like, fighting against us, I mean, it fights us at every angle. And I've been really recognizing it, and I'm really grateful. Like, it's been hard because I've just been down, like, I've been unwell for about a month now, and it's been really hard because I love feeling good. Like, I love exercising and just eating so great, and I just love all these things that we do. And whenever I get, like, sidetracked, kind of, and it throws me off, it's hard. But I see how God is teaching me and showing me, and how it is strengthening me, because I'm recognizing the things that I've kind of slacked off on, and how I haven't been meditating as consistently as I had been.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. I mean, just all the things that I have like created and have made habits. Like whenever you're sick and in bed and sleeping for days at a time and just not well, it's like it erases everything. Like you had just mentioned a few minutes ago. Like it's like all that progress, all that work, and everything that I've done up to this point, it feels like it's just all gone away because I'm sick. But that's not true.
Mm-mm.
It's not true. All of that knowledge, everything that I have learned up to this point is still here. And I feel like Heavenly Father is giving me this experience, allowing me to have this experience so that I can strengthen those things, so that I can show myself. Like, I don't know, I love this life. Like, I love all of the experiences that were given to teach us, to solidify these things that I know help me to feel well. And so it's just a matter of, even when we don't feel well, to continue doing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what our lesser self wants to do, is tell us, so you've messed up, you're not doing all these things that you've learned to do, well, you've lost it.
Right.
It's
and
gone.
Get down on yourself. And,
so now you've lost it. You can't go back. You can't start over.
Right.
You can't, but no, right now, today, you can get on your knees again. You can meditate again.
Oh no, I pray every single day.
Well, I mean all of it.
Yeah,
you can
right,
eat
right.
You can meditate. You don't have to get crazy and do crazy exercises, but you could do some toe touches and some light stretching and just little things. Whenever you're physically unwell, you can still do little things to keep that routine going. Yeah. Even though you're not able to do it at the level that you would like to.
Yes.
But our lesser self wants to tell us, oh, you suck. You're no good. Look at you. You're the same person you've always been. You're no different than you've always been. And today I was driving around and I was hearing some external voices that I've had come my direction over the last year and a half. And it's like, it's just not, it's not true. You know, I can believe the things that people say about me, or I can believe what I know about me. I can believe the progress that I've made, the love that I've gained for myself. Like right now, as I was driving around today working, I had a thought that, like, I love people that I've loved for a long time more right now than I've ever loved them before, and they're not even in my life. You know, I don't even have a relationship with some of the people that I was thinking about. And it's like I'm able to love them and I'm not even attached to them, but I'm able to send that love out because I have that love within me. And I really do, you know, I love myself today. And just because I have a day that's funky, a day that's not what I've become accustomed to, it doesn't mean that today has to be like yesterday or last week. You know, I can jump right back in where I left off. It doesn't mean I lost the last year and a half of progress because I have a down day. And it's so easy for us to believe that. Our mind wants us to believe that because that's what I've believed my entire life. You know, failing, taking it to addiction, failing thousands of times over a 30-year period. You know, telling myself I'm quitting, and messing up over and over and over and over again. I mean, that makes a person really not believe in themselves, really have a low self-esteem, like I am worth nothing. And, just falling back into some behaviors, it's just my mind wants to tell me, well, look, you're doing this, just go ahead and go back. Just go ahead and just throw in the towel and just, it's not worth it. Nobody believes you. Nobody's ever gonna believe you. But, I actually thought about Paul earlier today and thought, as I said before on here, how long did it take? And it's not about anybody else. It's not about anybody else. It's about, where am I at with myself? How do I feel about myself? Am I loving myself today? Am I treating myself kindly today? And that's really all that matters, is where's my eye focused? What am I spending my time doing? Am I doing things that are productive, or am I just wasting my days? And I've had a very productive week. It's Tuesday, so 2 days, but no, I've had a very productive, last 9 days. I have. And my mind is telling me constantly that I am just not worth it. I'm not worth it. That nobody's ever going to believe in me. But that is not what it's about. It's not about anybody else. It's about my relationship with God and my relationship with myself, with my higher self. And nothing else matters. God's going to put people in my life that belong in my life. And my life is perfect. It's exactly how it's supposed to be today, right now.
Talking about being productive. See, that's where I've been beating myself up so much about over the past week and a half, because I've not felt productive, and it's that, and it's so crazy because I have in my mind this idea of what productive looks like, and it's sometimes surrendering to where we are, and sleeping is the most productive thing that I can do for my body, to love my body, to help it to heal. Yeah. I went to the gym one day last week, and it probably was not the best choice for me that day, but I did it because I had not been all week and I felt bad. I was like, I need to exercise because I'm like that. I'm compulsive. So it's so I pushed myself, and it just probably wasn't a good choice for me. So then I beat myself up about that. It's there's just this constant beating myself up. But I'm not like that all the time. I just recognize that recently, during this period of time, that I have fallen back into that. And I hope that there comes a day when I don't, where I'm stronger than that. But it's having that patience. That is something that continues to come to my mind, is just having patience with myself exactly where I am, and loving myself. And I do love myself today. And I feel like as I've been just striving to really do all the things, that a person does who loves themselves. Whenever we love ourselves, we want to take care of ourselves. We want to feel good and to feel happiness. That's what love and happiness and joy, it's just all there together. And so it's I want to do all those things, and because it feels so good. It feels good to like myself today. Because it helps me to truly love others, like so much purer. Like there's just this love of, there's no expectation. There's like, it's different. It's really different whenever we're in that place of loving from our heart. Because we can love people with our mind. We can love people and say I love you, and then they walk out the room and we talk about them, or there's just that I love everybody, but we don't treat everybody like we love them all the time. And so we can say it, but until we truly come to a place of feeling that love, and I'm learning also that it has so much to do with grace that we've talked about in the past. Just it cleans us out, and it makes it possible for us to love ourselves, because we feel like God, we feel God's love for us, and it also makes me love him even more. It's just so interesting how that love, it just grows. It grows as we grow, and as we love our people, we're just able to love them better.
Yeah, and the productive thing that runs deep in our family. That's a generational thing. The whole productivity. The sun catches you in your bed, you've lost your day.
Right.
You gotta go. But a productive day when you're really feeling down might be, I'm going to do all I can to take a shower and clean myself and crawl back in bed. That could be very productive, just to be clean and get in the bed and just, that could feel so good, but the things that we tell ourselves, it's not, there's so many things that we tell ourselves that just are not healthy, and it's all about progress. It's all about moving forward, and that progress isn't a constant one step in front of the other. Sometimes you slip back a little bit, but as long as you're taking steps forward, you are moving in the right direction. I am moving in the right direction.
I am too.
I have not lost the last year of my life just because I haven't been feeling well. I went like 3 days without sleeping. And that's not good. No, it's not good at all. And to anybody out there, immediately it just looks really bad. But it's possibly something that I'll deal with for a long time. And benzos have to do with that. I know somebody that's been off of benzos for like 5 years and still can't sleep a full night. He sleeps like an hour or two and he's up, and sleeps an hour or two and he's up, and there's things that drugs do to the body that I believe that my body is going to be completely 100% healed in every aspect through fasting and through diet, through prayer, through meditation, through exercise, and through other things that I do. I really believe that my body will heal completely. And I'm impatient. I want it now. I have some days where, so I don't sleep well, but I'm still going to push myself and go work a full day, and it's not healthy.
Right.
But I'm telling myself I've got to be productive. I've got to go. If I'm not, well, then I'm losing all the progress that I've made. But sometimes progress means slowing down, shifting down a gear, slowing down, and giving myself time to get that energy back, to work on myself, and me jumping out and starting a new job and just working like crazy and really kind of ignoring myself and really just focusing on everything else but myself wasn't a good idea. It's not a good idea for me. And
you learned, it was a good lesson, though.
Very good
for
lesson.
You to
Very good
that,
lesson.
For you to see that, learn that about yourself.
And I don't know how much time I need where I'm spending an hour every day in group therapy and, doing things to work on myself to where I'm in a good place. How many years is that going to take? I don't know. Months, years, decades. I can't put a time limit on it.
Life.
But yeah, life.
Because truly, it's every single day. We only have 24 hours in a day, and we have to do those things to love ourselves. We have to do the things to show ourselves that we love ourselves enough to stay well. And so if that means group for the rest of your life, then that's what it means.
Yeah.
And plus that's going to help other people.
Yeah. And that's what it is about.
Because then as we love ourselves and we're healthy for ourselves, we can help other people.
Yeah. It's paying it forward is the number one way to stay plugged in and to stay healthy is helping those that need just as those that helped me when I needed, and it's wonderful to be able to love myself today, to really be able to look at myself in my imperfections, in my weakness, and still tell myself I'm a good person. I've come a long way, and I'm going to continue to progress and continue to move forward. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks except for God and me. How do I feel about myself? Because that is, if I don't love myself, I cannot love anybody else. Love your neighbor as thyself. If I don't love myself, I cannot love my neighbor. If I don't love myself, I cannot love anybody. Because you're only going to treat others as well as you treat yourself.
Absolutely.
And that goes into the whole abuse thing and all. Like, how much abuse will a person take? Well, however much abuse they feel like they deserve. And it's sad that anybody accepts any type of abuse in the world.
Yeah, it's easy to read people. Like, I'm learning so much about behaviors, and so it's easy to read people to see if someone loves themselves by the way that they are treating other people.
Oh, yeah.
So how people are taking care of themselves, whether they are or not, just by how they treat others.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got together today.
Me too. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's the longest that we have gone without recording since we started, except for whenever you were gone for a month, but we still had stuff that we uploaded. So yeah, we're gonna do better. I've just been in bed a lot and sick, but we could have. But it's just
excuses. It's part of imperfection, part of being human, but we are committed. And it would be so easy for me to just say screw it all, I'm done. I'm just gonna do the minimal. I'm gonna pay what I gotta pay and just live in squalor and just be miserable. But I'm just so much. I'm worth so much more than that.
Absolutely.
I know where I want to be. I know who I want to be, and I know what brings me joy and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I am today. That's what I want, and that's where I want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a person doesn't have a perfect day, it doesn't mean that today cannot be perfect. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
life is good.
It is. Thank you. Like I needed to do this. It's really helpful. We'll have to do it more.
Yes.
More often.
Definitely. We'll do it again this week.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I love y'all. Life is good.
It is. Bye, y'all.